I'm telling you guys, please believe me, 5 years ago I was this. I was like, what kind of resistance did y'all meet in the industry with popular culture when the time was perhaps per se? I was so that. Oh God. And now, let me tell you, where I am now, I accept and I understand that I don't know anything. First of all, you know, the music industry is just a microcosm of the world. So whenever you stand for something and you stand for goodness and truth, you will always get resistance. That's period. Whether you're in the pharmaceutical industry, the record industry, or whatever. Whenever you stand for truth and for the service, the service of others. See, I could make money very easily. I could make records that are self-indulgent and, basically self-promote me. I could do that. Promote myself. That was redundant, but you know what I mean. Just do those things. It's very easy. As a matter of fact, lyrically as an MC, that stuff comes easy. But in order to promote something higher, I feel now, at the ripe old age of 25, that the only thing that I could do is serve others. You understand what I'm saying? And because there are people who have not reached that point in their walk, yes, there's a little anger, there's a little resentment, because you raise a standard, you especially when you do it and you make some noise, and you do it and people actually listen to what you have to say, and like your record is bumping on the radio and you're saying something that holds a mirror up to a lot of the negativity and self-indulgent things and messages that a lot of other people, but we're all young. I have a hard time being so hard on the music world, especially hip-hop, because most of them come out of the hood 17 years old, having no clue or concept, having no concept of what life really is. And because hip-hop is so fast and what we like changes so quickly, by the time they do get a concept, they're no longer making records. So I've been put in this unique position. I have this very unique responsibility that God has made me aware while I still have the mic. And it's like I was expressing to my good friend today. I said, my mother, she taught me. She raised me with certain morals and certain standards. But, like any kid, when I was out there with my friends, I cut up, I wilded out, acted up amongst people whose mothers may not have taught them the same ideals. But every time I acted up, it was like my mother was always right there. She was always there, like, Lauren, I see you and you know better. And I got in trouble. And that is how my Father in heaven responds to me. Listen, I told you don't do that. I told you don't do that. And I told you that you better have the courage, because the kids, they may talk about you. They might say bad things about you, but when you come home, what I have waiting for you if you do what I tell you to. And also what I have waiting for you if you don't. So that's enough for me. That's enough for me. I have reached a place, and I'm telling you, I'm so blessed to have reached this place where, 5 years ago, I was so thin-skinned. Whatever anybody said would just, oh, my God, they don't like this rhyme, and, oh, my songs, and, and then one day I woke up, and it was like my skin was it was so thick, it was impenetrable by those fiery darts. They just had no effect, and I realized that was a strength and a confidence that only came from a higher source. And, we have to be determined, and you have to know that, for me now, I'm learning that it's more important to be righteous than to be right. I've tried to be right. This is right. This is an injustice. This is a travesty. I'm right. But I've been very unrighteous and still right. Oh my God, because you can attack someone completely right, but it doesn't resolve anything. It doesn't solve your problem. So I understand now that the battlefield and that the war is so much greater than what we see before us. I live in this physical body. This is like my address, like 22 Eder Terrace. I just gave everybody my address, but that's my address. Fight me. No. But this is where I live, but there's something much deeper. Who I am, has nothing to do with, the hair and the shoes and stuff, even though I like shoes. But, it has nothing to do with that. So and what I do, I mean, I find there's a lot of power in prayer. So I pray for the people who don't understand me. And I tell you, to be honest with you, I pray more now to be understood. No, excuse me, to understand than to be understood. I pray now to learn how to love than to be loved. Because God has given me an abundance. So, I don't need God. These people don't understand me. They think I'm crazy. Every time I'm on the mic, they just, it's not about that. I pray that I understand them so that I can talk to them, minister to them even more. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm just not afraid of, it's of no effect. It's immaterial to me. Because our enemies are not physical bodies. They're actually our family. They don't know it, and we don't always know it. But our enemies are not, they're not flesh and blood. And our problems are not flesh and blood, even though we think they are. I know that was very, I don't mean to sound ethereal, because what I'm saying, I'm telling you, is heavy as bricks. It's concrete. It's very concrete. Sometimes it can sound like doo-doo-doo, but it's not that. It's like, who saw the movie The Matrix? Okay, good. Then we can start from a point of reference. Matrix was a banging movie to me, and the reason why I appreciated it so much was because, do you remember at the end when Neo realized his potential? He started to see the binary code. You remember that, the whole world? Well, that's where I'm trying to be spiritually. I'm trying to see the Word of God in the whole world. So every time that agent throws a punch, I'm like, I see you. Oh, okay. I'm just catching his punches. So I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I'm starting to see that. Things are just, situations materialize themselves and, he's an agent. But here's the trick. Here's the trick. Here's the trick is that you have to remember that sometimes you can be an agent. You can be an agent to yourself. You can be an agent against someone else and not even realize that you're being used, That's the Matrix.